Hello and welcome back to another episode of Lightroom 101. Today we're going to be going over lens corrections. It's another really simple tool in Photoshop that applies a very subtle effect sometimes, but can be very helpful sometimes. So let's get right into it. All right, so first, it will probably show up as on this page, but I'm going to start by looking at the manual changes. Basically it's because that's mainly what I use, but yeah, let's get into it. So distortion will affect, basically, if you've ever shot with a wide angle lens, you know that they kind of end up looking fisheye-y like this, and this allows you to correct and kind of pull it in like this, but I didn't need it for this particular shot because this was shot on like a 50mm lens. So there wasn't too much distortion, but that's what that does. What I am showing mainly in this photo is how to get rid of these. This happens a lot if you're using an adapter on a lens, which I am doing. If you have lighting that's like coming from behind them like this, or if you have a cheaper kit lens, this will happen a lot. So basically this tool right here will help you get rid of this purple chromatic aberrations that you get on people's hair and on leaves and stuff like that. So basically you can just pull up this slider and it has a preset color range that works for pretty much everything, but you can adjust that if you need to. So you can make it more into the red or more into the blue, depending on what color your chromatic aberration is. Or you can go in with this color picker and pick the color, and it will try its best to fix it. It didn't work in this one, but it's worked for me in the past. Probably just needs to be turned up a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more red needs to be taken out. And let's see. That looks a lot better. Also, you can do the same thing with green chromatic aberrations. So basically the same thing. That was really easy. I didn't need to change the color range or anything. That was perfect. So yeah, that's the main thing I use lens corrections, that panel for. But also you can affect vignetting. So you can make it darker on the edges if your lens makes it lighter on the edges, and vice versa. This is also a really good way to do a vignette really naturally on your image. So if you want it to be a little bit more dramatic and make the edges a little bit darker, you can do that and adjust the midpoint closer to the center. And it looks a little bit more dramatic and cool. Let me find another photo to show you the profile section. Okay, perfect. So this is a image that I used a slightly wider lens, the 35mm Sony. And when you go into profile mode, basically you have a couple check marks. You can remove chromatic aberrations, so it'll try to do what we just did automatically. I haven't found that it's super effective. I'm sure it works for some camera lens combinations, but for me it's not perfect. So I normally use enable profile corrections. So basically that's what it did right there, is all it does. So it detected that I have a Sony E mount 35mm 1.8 lens, and it knows what that lens distorts, so it can correct it and make it back to a neutral image of probably closer to what you saw before you took the photo. So I'm just gonna go back and forth. If you look in this corner here, you can really see what it changes. It's moving that back out, so it's distorting the image from its kind of wide angle fisheye distortion back to a more normal flat image. And it's also brightening up this edge because there's some vignetting that happens in almost every lens, unless you have like a extremely expensive lens, it's gonna have some vignetting. So this is just removing both of those things. And yeah, that's about it. Let's see if it can do some chromatic aberrations. I see some right here. Let's see if it'll remove them. Nope, it doesn't notice them. Yeah, see, I haven't found that to be super useful. But you can also take the adjustments that it automatically makes and intensify those a little bit more. So you can adjust the distortion and it'll automatically keep your crop good. So say I wanted to get rid of this corner right here, it's kind of annoying. This might be a good way to do that and make it look natural. There we go. And then you can adjust your vignetting. If you think it was too vignetted, you can bring that edge back even more. I'm gonna edit this image just for fun because it was really cool that this guy was playing trumpet with his dog. And then that'll be it. That'll be the video. Alright guys, so that is the image. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something about the, what is this called? Lens correction panel. And yeah, that was a super easy one. This I don't use this panel too often, but it can come in handy when your image has lots of chromatic aberrations and you want to get rid of those. That's about it for the video. Thank you for watching, and you know, subscribe and stuff, and yeah. All right, bye. Have a good time editing photos without me. Also, this guy playing trumpet and his dog singing on the side might be the coolest thing I have ever seen in my entire life. I don't know. Tell me, oh, I hate this. I hate when YouTubers do this, but whatever. Tell me in the comments if you've seen this before, because I want to know if this is a thing. That would be wild. All right, bye. Okay, I'm done.